Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica. I have been a kettlebell coach, a heavy club coach, and athletic coach for over 20 years. Today we're going to talk about using kettlebells to fix forward rounded shoulder posture. We're going to talk about this with two families of movements. It's really 4 exercises which help people open up the shoulder. In my experience, there are 2 categories of people who have forward rounded shoulders. You have people who work in an office or use computers a lot. They tend to have forward rounded shoulders and not very much core control. The other group is actually fighters, people who wrap their body forward to protect their face and protect their center line. They tend to have forward rounded shoulders and a very strong core. So we're going to think about this and we're going to try to answer this for both populations at the same time. First exercise we're going to talk about is the pullover. Step up to your kettlebell, point 2 feet straight ahead, thumbs point towards the sky, track down, flip the kettlebell heavy part up. We call this globe up. A pullover is putting the kettlebell all the way behind us without letting our elbows flare. Squeeze your elbows together, squeeze your glutes, and pull over. In the beginning, people who are very rounded will only be able to get their arms maybe to here. The goal of the weight is that it drags you open until we get the kettlebell to touch in the back. Squeeze the elbows together until the elbows touch the side of the head. Squeeze your glutes to stabilize your lower spine, and then pull over. Fighters tend to pull over back into a closed position. So our goal is to try to pull over with our chest up and shoulders back. The straight line of the pullover is actually hard for most people, and they actually find it much easier for the first 3 years of training to do what we call a halo or a shield cast. Step up to your kettlebell, point 2 feet perfectly straight ahead, get down, grab the kettlebell, lift it up. Instead of going straight back, straight forward, which people can find difficult, we start by lifting up one arm, going around the head, kettlebell touches shirt, coming all the way back to center. Open and close. Open the chest, close the chest. Open the shoulders, close the shoulders. Do an equal number going each direction. If you went over your left ear, do an equal number going over your right ear. When you come back to center, squeeze your glutes and try to get taller. Around the head. By moving in a circle, people tend to be able to move one shoulder at a time. One shoulder open, open for just a minute. One shoulder close, one shoulder close. Open, open, close, close. Open, open, close, close. To review that, that's a pullover and a halo, also called a shield cast sometimes. Halo's probably the one that people are going to get the most use out of quickest. Get a light weight, figure out how to get the kettlebell to touch your shirt, and end up with your elbow on your body, but not behind your body. When you go behind your body, you tend to lose core connection. Push the weight forward, squeeze the elbows tight to the body, drive the rib cage down, squeeze the glutes. If your back hurts, squeeze the glutes. Next exercise is something that you should be doing no matter what. It's kettlebell clean and press. The thing about kettlebells is it makes it hard to have bad posture over time because of the way the kettlebell is loaded. We start standing at the kettlebell, step back 12 to 18 inches, thumb points towards the sky, thumb points down. This is safety for your elbow. Grab the kettlebell in the corner closest to you, not in the middle of the handle, closest to you. Push the weight back, bring it up. From here, the weight is in front of our body. When we do a kettlebell press, and this is unique with kettlebells, the bell will go from in front of our body to behind our body, and it will help correct the position of our skeleton over time with training. Open the shoulder, press, kettlebell is behind us, you're opening the shoulder, drive the rib cage down, squeeze the glutes, other arm out. Bring the weight down, fold it in, kettlebell in front of us. Open, press, bring it down, close. Shoulder is rolled in a more forward position, shoulder is open, weight is behind us, We are in extension of the shoulder. Bring it back down. When we set it down, push the weight back and let it set down in its original position. I highly encourage you to watch every kettlebell clean and press video you can, because it is more complex, because it rotates, than dumbbell presses or barbell presses. There are little tricks to how you hold it and little tricks to how you breathe, but it corrects your posture better over time. People whose posture is very forward will focus on this single arm clean and press, an equal number left and right, for years, until they've done probably at least 12 weights. If your posture is deviated, smaller jumps in weight is better, because you're going to allow your tendons and your ligaments time to adapt to the new position. Kettlebells are unique. They force you to have better structure than anything in the gym. Better than barbell, better than dumbbell, better than anything. When you get good at the single kettlebell press, probably with at least 12 weights, running at least 12 full weight cycles, then people tend to go to a double press. Double press is a lot harder because it forces a lot more alignment in the skeleton, the shoulder joint, the thoracic spine, the rib cage, the glutes, the hips, the knees, it's everything. Same idea, step up to the kettlebell, your feet are pointed straight ahead. Get your distance, 12 to 18 inches back. Thumbs point up, thumbs point down. That way when you do the clean, if anything goes wrong, your arm will bend that way. We tend not to do thumb up in the beginning for several years in case you do something wrong. The goal is not to rip our elbow in half. Thumbs up, thumbs down, push the weights back. The weights are in front of us. Get your fingers out of the way so you're not crushing them. Squeeze the handles together, squeeze the elbows together. Now you are wrapping your body around the bells. Open, press all the way up, bring them down, close. Fingers out of the way. Open, press, double lockout, bring them in front. The weights are in front of the body. At the top, the weights are behind the body. Bring them down. The goal is to get the weights in front of you, elbows tight, wrap your body around the bell, open with the back, open, press all the way up, get lockout of both elbows, pull them down, get your fingers out of the way, touch the handles together. Simple idea, use weight to get more mobility. We're not trying to get crazy circus performer mobility. We're trying to get normal human range of movement back. In the modern world, we tend to sit down a lot and we tend to focus on things in front of us. That alters the way our skeletal structure sits. It alters our mobility. When we go back to doing something like kettlebell swinging, which is designed to improve our structure, the alignment of our skeleton, our breathing, and our movement, we can correct forward rounded shoulders over time. It does not happen overnight. You start with a lightweight, so light you can't get hurt, and then you repeat things thousands of times in logical cycles until it alters the way that your body's skeleton sits. We're trying to get back to a normal human range of movement. Pullover, halo, single kettlebell press leads to double kettlebell press.